know what I'm saying?
Nigga was sliding that bitch.
Shit, you mean
Anything else. One of my niggas had a possum.
Everything is live, so get ready. Get accurate.
Oh, now you got 4 mics.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's just switch.
Right, that's what I'm for.
It's showing the table too?
Yeah, so it should be showing all of us right now.
a
So I ain't worried about the table for real.
Missionaries.
Let me see. It's showing the table, but I ain't worried about the table for real.
Why are you saying table like this?
Table.
Like he from
Louisiana.
Dragging it.
I just zoomed in a little
Worry
bit.
about
I mean,
the table.
I think we could all start by saying what HBCU we went to and
Yeah.
how we chose that HBCU.
I went to Spelman. I graduated 2017. I feel like Spelman chose me because I honestly did not know anything about Spelman until I got my acceptance letter.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy because I applied through like the Common app, and so it was one of the schools on there, so I just clicked it.
Oh wow.
So Spelman kind of chose me.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I went to Morehouse, was classmates with Martez. Yeah, so my story is, it's a long story because I transferred into Morehouse. So I initially started in 2014 after taking a gap year, unintentional gap year between high school and college. One, wasn't college ready. Two, didn't really know what to get into, or didn't know the ins and out of college really. And so ended up taking an unintentional gap year. And I think it was 2013 where Detroit Public Schools started doing like Detroit Scholarship Fund, where they would pay for the 2 years of community college, whatever. Long story short, didn't take that route. So end up, I know I'm telling all my life story.
this nigga's dope. But that's
I'm
okay.
telling the whole life story.
That's
whatever.
okay.
No, but I think
Backstory.
the context is important of how I got
Nah,
to
bro,
Morehouse.
because I mean, you still end up at Morehouse, and
Yeah.
you need to know how it's possible.
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely. Yeah. So went to Northwestern High School 2013. Unintentional gap year. Thought I lost to the Detroit Scholarship Fund. Go to 2 years.
Wait, what?
She asked me, what's in my cup?
Oh,
This man told me his whole life story.
right.
Meanwhile, what you said?
Meanwhile, we're just sipping on it.
Don't worry about what's in my cup.
Got that community juice.
Like Wayne, and
Y'all
Okay, I'm
funny.
sorry.
my cup.
Y'all funny.
Even if I spill my cup,
I probably should pick that cup back
I
up.
probably should pick that bitch.
Okay, I'm sorry. You went
No,
to
it's all
Northwestern.
good. Yeah, Northwestern High School, go Colts. So I really wasn't college ready. I was accepted at Kentucky State University. Didn't get a scholarship or whatever, but I was a school I could have went to, but not being college ready. Ended up, deferring that year, or not that year. Just didn't go to college. So it finally came around, and family's going through some hardship. Got an email, and Detroit Scholarship Fund was like, "Hey, if y'all didn't use this scholarship last year, you can use it this year." And it came at a time where my dad was actually moving to a campus near Wayne County Community College, and so I went and lived with him. And so did my 2 years at Wayne County. By the grace of God, I mean, excelled or whatever, And then it came time to came time to be finished with the program. I'm like, man, I don't know what schools I'm gonna go to. Default Wayne State, was close.
Easy. Yeah.
And one of my professors, Dr. Cynthia Miller, got to shout out her. She was one of the reasons I went to Morehouse. So she heard my life story. She was like, no, you need to go where these big people go. You need to go to Princeton. You need to go to Morehouse. You need to apply to all these schools. And so ended up applying to Morehouse. Got accepted at Wayne State, Morehouse, a few other schools, and. At that time, if I did the math right, I wouldn't have went to Morehouse. But it seemed like they offered the right, money. I'm like, dang, they offer more money than Wayne State. So I went to Morehouse, and changed my life. So it's a long story short.
I ain't gonna lie, if he didn't make that decision, I would never met bro. And
Nope.
I would have never met my husband.
Right.
Bro, let's start there, bro. Like, First of all, we talking to a husband and wife right now. First of all, y'all was an inspiration in my life, bro. Not only just in the church life, but just in like seeing something real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all started from the ground roots, bro. We was just all friends, bro.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward 6 years later, y'all are married. You know what I'm saying? And that's something big for me, bro. I want to get married one day. Chloe, what you think? You want to get married one day?
I'm weak.
I think it's a beautiful HBCU.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful, bro.
I feel like you had more to say.
I was like, Nene, now why am I in this?
No, we appreciate it though. At least I do. I speak for myself. I appreciate, you know, you lending your platform or whatever. And yeah, man, I didn't necessarily think that, you know, I'd get married. Because one, in our generation, it seems like, you know, not marriage is dying off, but it's not something that a lot of people aspire to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I mean, they get caught up in, you know, the avenues of life and wherever life takes them. And so I knew for me, I just didn't want to, you know, have kids or just be sleeping around with other folks. And, you know, I wanted something real and genuine. And so, yeah, that's what led to marriage or whatever. I mean, it could be pressure too, though. I don't know. Like when you do those traditional things like go to college and all those, you kind of get stuck in the cycles of people saying this is the next thing that you should do. The expectations of what to do. So I mean,
people planning out your life for you.
Exactly. Like as soon as we got engaged, people were like, well, when is the wedding? I'm like,
then we get married. When y'all having kids, like
exactly,
damn.
like damn, like hold up, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, with anything, I think it's a lot of expectations that you have to defy, and it's a lot of no's too, especially the people who you love. Like, I mean, all of those comments is coming from people that we love.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's just really coming into your own person and saying, you know what, I'm not going to let other people's, you know, binaries or boundaries or whatever define, you know, my life. And I'm just going to take it by the reins and just, you know, forge my own journey. So, yeah.
That's real. And it just comes a point in life where you're just like, you know what, I'm tired of people telling me when I'm going to do things or this is the next step for me. And now I'm kind of taking control of my own life.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
We play FaceTime every night.
Every night.
All right, look, we on the pod, and I need you to just give a little synopsis about like how we knew that Kristina and Anthony was together.
Ah, no.
Yeah. All right, I put it in the camera.
They really try to be slick on us. So me and Martez,
I can't do both.
So me and Martez was hanging out, but we didn't know what Anthony and Kristina was. I asked Martez, I was like, what Anthony? He was like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know what Kristina ain't either. So I was like, you know what? I think she might be doing her office hours. We was like, let's go slide up on Kristina at work, see if she at work. We slide up on Kristina at work. Guess who already there?
Oh.
Anthony is already there, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Nothing about the French, nothing.
Okay,
I feel like I remember that. Though.
Yeah.
That was real fishy. Remember, like, they gotta
Not
be
fishy.
why else would they want a long time with each other?
Come on.
Yeah, we knew it. We just knew.
I was working in the chapel.
We do.
Come on. All
Yeah, I
right.
thought y'all was slick.
Nah.
The foundation.
We gotta be friends first.
You know what I'm saying? I got to get to know you first, see how you work.
Hey, hey, the whole time she prayed on me though.
What?
Oh.
Wait a minute.
The whole time she prayed on me. Y'all thinking, nah.
Prayed.
Tell her what you was thinking though.
What was I thinking?
I don't know. The first day you saw me in chapel.
Okay. I knew
The first day?
I knew you was somebody.
He was down for the
Bye.
Jesus Christ. I don't know.
And then,
Hey, she just checked out her whole like. She was just all in the
y'all
mirror on her
wasn't supposed
phone.
to be
Though.
looking.
Hey, you funny. I hope the camera caught that.
But we
I
gotta
hope
introduce
we
her
did
too
too.
though.
Right,
I did too.
exactly.
I graduated from Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University in 2020. I got my bachelor's, and then I also graduated from North Carolina A&T State University in 2022 with my master's. What drew me to A&M is They had the money. They had the money. It was between A&M and Jackson State for full tuition scholarships. But I really wanted to go to Tuskegee or Spelman. Tuskegee gave me $10,000 a year, and it's $30,000 a year. What was I gonna get $20K? And then Spelman, they didn't give me anything, so I just went to A&M. And I had the time of my life. I had the time of my life. I'm not gonna lie. And then NCAT, I went during the pandemic, so it wasn't as lit. But you know, NCAT go crazy.
You said how much Jackson State offered?
They gave me full tuition.
Really?
But I did not want to live in Mississippi.
Really?
I did not want to live in Mississippi.
Damn.
You got accepted there?
Yeah, I had a full scholarship there too.
Damn.
We were
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
and Chloe, that's crazy.
Damn.
Can we talk about those, like, you know, financial struggles? I mean,
We
being
should.
Let's-
Yeah.
I think we should
Let's
talk about
actually
those
talk
things.
about it because that's actually a big part of HBCU.
Yeah.
No, for
bro.
real, it is.
Trail, do you got anything to say about the financial struggles of HBCUs?
Can we introduce
I
Trey?
still got student loans.
Okay, see, there you go right there. All right,
Start there.
all right, let me introduce Trail. You know what I'm saying? This is my best friend from college. You know what I'm saying? Spelman, alumni, and alumnus. What they call the girls?
Alumni.
Alumna, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Big dog out there in Spelman, and she gonna tell y'all a little bit about the financial struggles.
Hey, why do I split my financial struggle?
We all about to.
No,
but
just in
I
general.
want you to be a part of this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Be a general.
Okay. So I came to Spelman. They didn't give me anything. Like literally, I had to ask my great aunt. She said no, and then I had to ask my brother to co-sign my loans, and they took his. So I came to Spelman like year after year on loans. I got like a few scholarships, but like the department that I was in, they did not care about the religious studies department. Like. It was just a lot. Like every year, every semester, I was like, "Am I gonna make it back to this hole?" But post grad, it's just like I'm not paying those student loans back. And then like in the field that I'm in like religion and like religious studies and trying to be in academia. It was just like no one really cared about the Spelman name. They was like, "What church did you go to?" And I'm just like, "Well, fuck, I don't know a church."
I see it.
So like now I have a degree where it's just like. I mean, I'm not using it, and I paid all that money.
I ain't gonna lie, I cannot. So that's where I'm gonna step in because I definitely have a degree where I feel like I'm not using it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think it's still something to still be able to have said that I've graduated from Morehouse College or any college,
Right.
honestly.
I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, the name hold a lot of weight.
It
Morehouse
does.
and Spelman.
It really
Yeah.
does.
And Spelman, no, for a fact. Like,
I'll give you an example. There was one time I was at Morehouse. I came home, I think, for winter break or whatever. Ended up getting a ticket in a car that wasn't mine, belonged to my dad. So I'm like hella pissed. And so I'm like, dang, I gotta appear to court. So I get something in the mail. It tell me, you know, when my court date is and what judge I need to go to or whatever. So I end up looking up the judge. Dude went to Morehouse.
Hey, that's what's
rap.
Went
up.
to Morehouse. I ain't gonna name drop him.
raps.
And so I go to the court date, and so like they hit me with like they run me up on, I don't want to say charges or nothing, but it was like multiple tickets or whatever. So basically the attorney was like, yeah, you have to come back or whatever. I was like, I can't go come back, I'm in school. And so she was like, what school you go to? So I look at the judge, I made sure I stood up. I was like, I go to Morehouse. And then and so the judge looked up like,
He just said,
counsel, come here. So he called me up to the bench and he was like, yeah, so you say you go to Morehouse, so what dorm you in? So I said, I'm living in Purdue. He said, what classes you taking? I said, I'm taking history jazz with Dr. Etheridge. He said, man, I took class with Dr. Etheridge, man, in the 90s.
wow.
Showed me his class ring and everything. And so I ended up, he ended up calling me back. So he told me to go to the seat, call me up. They dismissed all the tickets.
Yes,
So
bro.
that name and that connection really holds weight. Yo.
It holds so,
It's
much weight, bro, in this world, bro.
Granted, I didn't. It wasn't my fault though. So I was driving somebody's car. They didn't have the right tags on there. So he wasn't doing me a favor. It's just it wasn't my fault. But anyway.
But at the same time, that shit do hold weight, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you never know who you're gonna run into that might have went to a HBCU alone.
Exactly.
The same HBCU you went to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's true.
So
And sometimes it doesn't even matter if you went to the same one. It just matters that you went to one.
Exactly.
They be like, oh, you went to a
Yeah.
black college.
Oh,
You
say
cool
less.
with me.
Yeah,
Connections.
Message.
absolutely. I think that culture though, the black culture, coming out of a struggle. I mean, just like HBCU is rooted in struggle, but also wanted to pave ways for black people to have something in this country. I think it's something that continues to be the legacy of HBCUs to get these people out of inner cities, but also people from around all different communities to bring them together. To build a life and to network and have those connections because our ancestors wouldn't afforded those opportunities at all.
Yeah.
Message.
Bro, at all. HBCU, you gotta be on top of not only yourself, but you gotta be on top of the administration because you're right, bro.
Be in that financial aid office.
You gonna be in that? Oh, trust me.
No, that's real though. Even though, I mean, granted, I think some of the institutions and administration should have the necessary help and the funding that they need so that we can run good financial aid offices and good administration
Truly,
for
yeah.
students. I think that on the other hindsight, I think I agree with you that at HBCUs, you just get this type of, you learn to hustle. You learn not to just sit around and wait for things to come on, come to you. Like being at these PWIs, I've been at Vanderbilt and at the University of Denver. You talking about a refund? I mean, they stuff as soon as they disperse it. A few days later,
You get it like that.
Right there.
it's there.
Right there.
Versus, so was it the same at
Yeah. What's up with that?
Alabama? And,
Yeah, so just a sidebar. I was reading this book the other day because I'm a nerd. It's called Vernacular Insurrections by Karma Kennard. And she basically said that HBCUs are historically underfunded, which we know, but because right after slavery, black people were the only people that wanted to get an education. They were the only ones that had a drive for education. So white people kind of, spun it around and were like, well, if you're going to teach them that they should want to labor. They should want to work for us. Mm-hmm. And so when they were giving out land grants to HBCUs, white people were taking the money and saying, well, we're allocating these funds to teach white people anti-racism. Which we know is a lie, right?
Yes,
so
HBCUs
are historically underfunded, and it's because of white people claiming that they were going to teach desegregation, teach not to be racist, and we know that's not true.
No, it's not.
But
Message.
But I will say I think I told you this last week. My freshman year at A&M, my mama called me like the second week. She said, "Go to the financial aid office and see how much money you owe." I said, "I don't owe any money." She said, "Yes, you do." I said, "Well, no, I don't because they still let me go to class." She said, "No, but they'll do that. So go in there and see how much money you owe." Because my mama and my dad went to Grambling, which is the HBCU in Louisiana. So she said, "Yeah, so go in there and see how much you owe." I owe them $5,000. I said, "Oh my God!"
They wasn't gonna speak on it.
They weren't gonna say nothing, and I know a lot of students the next year they would be like, "Oh, I still got a balance from last year."
How
did you come back? How are they letting y'all do this?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I had full tuition, but I stayed on campus, so I still had to pay for housing.
I got you.
So I took out on loan. But yeah, I still owe them like $5,000. I'm like, oh well, I'm glad you said something. We caught it at the beginning rather than the end. But yeah, I don't know. NCAT though, like, I was on scholarship my first year. I had a fellowship, and then my second year, they were still passing out like CARES Act COVID funds.
Yeah.
I got my whole tuition fund. I only paid 75 cents for their degree.
You said 75 cents?
75 cents. And they were so petty because, they paid for my summer semester, one semester, and they left 75 cents on there. They left 75 cents on there.
Wow.
So me, my mama, and my brother, we paid 25 cents each because we petty like that.
I'm surprised they paid that small.
I'm glad that you got it for that.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad, bro. Fuck it. Like,
It's like in blood.
Okay. NCAT is the #1 public HBCU, so it's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know what, and then I was from out of state, so it's even more expensive.
Yeah.
But I think, my first year I interviewed for a fellowship. I got it. They paid me and they paid my tuition, and then my second year they paid my tuition, but I didn't get a stipend, so that's when I ended up teaching 7th grade. But it was like my second year, I had filled out the little CARES Act form, and my second semester, second year, I filled out the CARES Act form. They didn't give me no money, so around the time like NCAT is like as soon as you register, you gotta pay. They like they don't wait. They be like, you owe us this amount, like pay it now, or we dropping your classes. And I'm like, no way. I'm sitting here and I owe y'all, you know, $6,000. I don't have $6,000 just to give y'all,
exactly.
You know. So they like, well, you can go on the payment plan. So I pay like $100 to get on the payment plan, and then I paid, had you know, $1,000-something, which I still don't. It was $1,800. I still don't have that either. So me, my mom, and my brother, we split $600. I told them I'll get them their money back. Well, I went and filled the CARES Act out again because obviously y'all didn't get it the first time.
Right.
I filled it out again. The next day they paid my full tuition. They gave me my money back. You know, the next week. So it's just like they will miss minor details. So yeah, you do have to stay on top of them. As far not even just financial aid, as far as like graduating on time.
Yeah.
True. I almost didn't graduate on time, y'all. That was so crazy at A&M. And I was the type of person, like, I had my catalog with me every time I was going to see my advisor. I was highlighting the classes, like, it was in purple if I took it my freshman year, it was in blue if I took it my sophomore year, it was in yellow if I took it, like, I wasn't playing, like, they gave me 4 years of tuition, I'm done in 4 years, I gotta go. And my very last semester, they said, you know, you're good to go, like, I applied for graduation, I was like, cool, like, we approved you, and literally, March, they came and they said, well, you're missing a class. And 2 days later, school shut down because of COVID. So I can't even figure out how to get this class that I need to get into because y'all done shut down the school.
Right.
But y'all also approved me for graduation. So why would you approve me if you know I'm missing a class?
Right.
Without the class. So I said, so is there any way you could just add me to another class? They said, what's class registration period? I said, but y'all already approved me for graduation. I already got a scholarship somewhere else, so I gotta go. Y'all don't have to figure something out.
Yeah.
And they put me in a class very last minute. The teacher made me do all the work from the first day to March, and I had never sat in a class before. I didn't know nothing. She didn't give me no notes or nothing. Like, it was just crazy. But
what?
Yeah, but I made it out of there.
Keep
You'll really grow as a person.
Absolutely.
You gotta learn to stand for yourself.
Because it's underfunded, or are we just not understaffed? Like, what do you think?
Both. I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
Honestly, understaffed, underfunded,
and
so
you have students that are first generation. Most students are first generation. You don't even have parental guidance.
So you don't know.
So
you don't know.
figuring everything out on your own.
And then I think it's also like that whole like I got it out the mud, you gotta get out the mud.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
like,
sure.
I understand that like if you're older, you know these young black kids are trying to make a way for themselves. You shouldn't make it hard on them just to go to class or to get the financial aid when you know it's already stacked up against them once they leave that space.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact.
No, that's good because it's been so many just dry-haired, dusty old people that will literally try to hold you back. They won't give you no secrets. They won't give you no tea. They just make it harder for you when you don't have to because you're technically making it harder on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody could just be cohesive. We could all be smooth. We could all get up out of here. You give me an A, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I feel that.
Shit. I think like okay, so let me ask y'all this. Would y'all recommend HBCU for like, you know,
100%.
Yeah, I don't think you should go nowhere else.
100% though. Yeah.
And it's